probably the #1 thing that keeps me off of like short video platform anything is I don't want to dance. Do I have to dance?
This is Dana, my wife, and she doesn't know anything about YouTube Shorts. And today, me and 2 of the other strategists on my team are gonna tell her how Shorts work, and she's gonna make her very first one.
So what's the difference between TikTok and Shorts?
The main differences are really the platform. YouTube is the only platform that successfully has done long form content. So test strategies to lead people to the long form content. That's the benefit that you have on YouTube with Shorts that you don't have anywhere else.
So is there a difference between Instagram Reels and Shorts?
They're very similar in that you have 15 to 60 seconds to use. Pro tip, they say 60 seconds, but you should really keep it at like 58 or under. Otherwise, some things can get cut off.
Is there a benefit for people taking their TikTok material and putting it as a short on YouTube versus just creating something fresh and specific for YouTube Shorts?
I would start with whatever platform you think is your main thing, and then try repurposing it on other stuff and see what works. The first thing I would do if we were just gonna plan one out is I'd ask just what's your target audience and your value proposition. So who's your audience and what are you trying to give them?
Target audience would be young moms who are struggling through motherhood, kind of feel like they've lost their identity, trying to figure out who they are again and how they can be themselves and be a mom at the same time.
What problem would you wanna help them solve maybe in a short little video?
My tagline is turning chaos into joy. So if there's some kind of idea of something chaotic about motherhood that we can quickly turn into something joyful.
I think the first thing we can do then is talk about an idea, and then we'll script out like 3 to 4 lines, something very simple. If we're thinking of it in like story form, you have your problem. So the problem is that what? Moms
are overwhelmed with the amount of laundry in their house, specifically socks they have to match up.
Write that, socks all around the
Socks
house.
your children have.
Well, we're gonna reclaim those socks.
Or burn them. We could put them in the burn barrel for the end of it. I would actually be okay with that.
So maybe we can do 2 options. One is like, here's a way that you could sort it,
right.
And you're like, but it takes forever.
Yep.
And then the second option is, or this, and you just throw it in the burn bin, and then we just see it catch on fire. Okay, that sounds awesome. Explosion, and then transformation. What's the moment that you're like, okay, this would change everything for me?
To be able to know with ease to look and see like, oh, these are hers, and these are hers. And it's just a simple thing that laundry can actually get done instead of sitting on my couch for days.
I can see this kind of working when we have you where you're like sorting through the laundry, or you're just like dumping it on the couch and you're like, all right kids, come get it. And then you have an after, and it's like, you know, you putting the socks away in the drawer and it all feels good and you're like, oh my gosh, this is so much easier than it used to be. And you might even say something like, you're probably wondering how I got here.
Then does it go to a flashback of like how it actually happened?
Yeah, and then we have the how she got there, and we show you just like burning all the socks. It's obviously not super realistic, but I think it'll play into what a lot of moms are thinking, which is just like, if I could go all the way, I'd just burn the dang things and like let it go. And I think that's some of the fun of these kinds of stories, where you're playing into the imagination a little more. So something too that I think is worth noting is that we have these ideas, and it can easily feel overwhelming, where we're like, okay, we got to shoot all this stuff and do all these things. The quicker and dirtier that all this feels, the better, because that's the stuff that seems to play really well on short form stuff. They don't want it to feel overly polished. They like the shooting with the cell phone, so we're going to do everything on your cell phone. We're going to keep it really simple. So we've spent about 15 minutes sort of scripting an idea. The reason it even took us that long is because we're kind of walking through the process. So what we're gonna do now is take 30 minutes, and we want to make this thing happen just to show you guys that you can do something pretty in-depth with not a lot of time. And you could even go for simpler ideas and make that work with even less time. And the timer starts now. 3, 2, 1.
These drive me nuts. You know what? Forget this. Put them in. Dump them, girl. Good job. Yeah, high five.
We've shot kind of the beginning of the video, the first 2 scenes, and we still got 12 minutes left. So we're doing really good. We got 1 more to go. And this is the benefit of having a plan, like just coming in with some sort of script that you can work off of. And we've honestly shot 3 different versions of the same thing just to see what would work the best. And now we're off to shoot the big explosion. But here's the thing, just know you don't need a family of 9 and a strategy team of 3 to make this work. So that was epic. We did it in 30 minutes. High five. Nobody died. We'll edit this thing and see how long that takes. I spent about 15 minutes editing this. So we're gonna watch it here for the first time.
Trying to match socks for a large family has been a big issue. And here's how we got over the struggle. Who's with this one? Who's this one?
No idea.
How about this one?
Nobody claims that one.
You know what? Forget this.
What do you think, Dana?
I feel like I'm gonna get so many comments on how dangerous this was, but it was so therapeutic.
How do you feel after having made one now? Did you think it was fun? Did it seem overwhelming? If you did this now, what might you do if you were doing this on your own?
I think it was a lot of fun. I would probably
Use less fire?
that would be something fun and simple that I can bring my kids into and be a part of bringing joy out of chaos. Being able to do something that's not going to take too much thought and too much time like my regular videos are. Then be able to focus on a really good video for my channel instead of feeling like I've got to stay on top of putting regular content out quickly on there. But I liked this too because it was so much more thought. Like, all right, we're going to shoot this scene. Now we're going to shoot this scene, and keeping it short made the whole process go longer, because usually if I'm sitting down or I'm doing a vlog, the amount of footage that we have alone is just so much. It seems a lot more doable, and it's not as scary as I thought it would be.
That explosion was pretty scary.
That did scare me.
That was a lot of fun. We hope you guys learned something here, and just realize that making your own short doesn't have to take all this time and effort, and you can have a lot of fun with it. So you'll see that we focused a lot on story. So if you don't have a good story, then the short isn't necessarily gonna work. So go click on this playlist right here. We'll walk you through all the steps on how to create a great story for your video. Click here. I'll see you over there.